Hi, and welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Today, we're going to do a turning version of the walking stick like I did the other day. I've got this turning piece here. It's walnut, and I believe it's maple. So I'm going to turn this one here between centers. We'll walk you through a whole process of doing a walking stick on the lathe. So this will be a little different. So let's get set up here and let's get rolling. So let's get started. So here's our billet, if you want to call it that. We're going to put it between centers. So I got my center marked, and I'm going to do this here. So, and this is it's about 36 inches long. So, all righty. Let me adjust the camera so you can see kind of a little bit more of what we're doing. There we are. And I'm going to start at the tailstock end, and we're going to go that direction. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to make it round. So I got my face shield here. We'll put that on. Got my gloves on. Face shield sitting here. We're going to do this round. The reason I'm going to make this my tail end is because I got a little piece of it chipped out here, and the other end seems to be a little bit better for the top. So we're going to turn this round. It's going to be pretty simple, nothing fancy too much, but we got to turn it round. So again, my personal preference is I like to use the skew. So let's get started. I'm going to run this pretty good. Make sure everything's tight. All right, here we go. That's why we wear a face shield, is to see the chips coming off there. Pieces. I'm going to go just a hair. Lower it down just a hair. And that's one thing you want to do is kind of always stop the lathe before you move your tool rest. Kind of a little safety thing. So here we go. And I've always said this, work from the center and work out. You don't put the cat backward, Just one of the things I'm curious on is maybe people can tell me, and I've had a couple people tell me I need to narrate a little bit more. A couple of them say I talk too much in my videos. I don't know. I don't think I talk that much, but maybe so. Hear it vibrating a little bit. We'll fix that. I got my steady rest that I'm going to put on here once we get it somewhat round. So, just into the center walking stick. Nothing too fancy, So, not quite there. So, here we go. Yep. That's what they call a cut. That's what scares everybody from using a skew, is when they catch them. But if you lay your skew on the wood, I'm riding my bevel, and I lift up on the handle, and you'll see it start cutting here. You don't ever want to cut on this point here or that point, the heel or the toe. So you just kind of lay it up there and keep it at roughly a 45-degree angle. And it does a real good job, I like the way it turns. It's smooth. Let's see how close we are to being round on that there. Okay, got a ways to go. See, I got a flat spot there, flat spot there. Looks like I'm not exactly centered, but that's all right. It won't hurt nothing. Dad's character. We're running upwards about 1100 RPMs. So some people would prefer to use a roughing guide to do this. There's nothing wrong with that. And some people are going to look at me and they're going to say, well, he looks uncomfortable with his hands way up high. Not necessarily. I feel like I have better control over it when I do that. And I'll show you when we move it down. I want to look and see where we're at. Oh yeah. Okay, so I got a little bit of flat spot there, and I still got my little chip out there. So we're going to go a little bit more. So I'm going to move my tool rest just a smidgen closer. And that's a precision term, a smidgen. So, and here we go. I am right-handed, but this is turning from the left, so it's not too bad. I'm thinking I might just move that center just a hair. Yeah, I might move the center just a hair. So I got a flat spot here and it's rounded there. So what I'm going to do, and it's not going to take much, probably about right there. I'm going to make sure she's tight. There we are. All right, and we're just about round. I got a little bit of chip there. Got to work on. Let's keep going. That might be round enough to get us what we want, because I want to not get it perfectly round. Oh yeah, I'm round to that point. So I'm going to move my tool rest down just a hair, and we're going to see what we got here. So, oh, don't want to do that, because I want to round this over and then get my steady rest on it to hold it. Okay, we're in good shape there. Get a little closer. All right. All right, so now I've got that. I'm going to go the other way. So I'm going to do it left-handed now, or right-handed. So, again, tool rest on there. I got my skew at about a 45. I'm riding my bevel, lift it up till she cuts. And this is where you're going to see a lot of vibration. So the main thing is, I just want to get these corners knocked off. I got it a little bit slower speed because I don't want this vibrating too bad. The more pressure I put on the tailstock, the more it's going to flex. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure the center, find my center point. So I'm going to try to turn it so I can put my tailstock or my steady rest up there. 36 inches, so 18. So I want to turn, excuse me, I want to turn this down so it's round. And you see I got a knot right there that I'll have to work around, and I might fill that with CA glue real quick. Let's do that. In case you see what I'm doing here. I don't know if I can zoom in or not. No, I can't. All right. So we're going to fill this with CA glue right there, and I'll be right back. So I'm filling this little knot here with some CA glue just to harden it up and make sure it doesn't really come apart. I have a feeling it's not very deep, but I'll probably end up turning most of that away, and I'm using an accelerator to speed it up. CA glue is not the cure-all to cure-all. It's just a crutch per se, if you want to call it that. You know, like I said, be careful with it. You know, it will glue your hands together if you're not real careful. It's not the cure-all to cure-all on fixing things, but it does a pretty good job at it. So, all right, so I got that glued. It's dry to the touch. Okay. Now the thing when you're doing this, turning this, there might be a little bit of wet stuff down inside, so you really do want to wear a face shield because as you're turning, you're going to cut into that, and that'll be issues if you want to call it that. It'll spray all over. I've gotten on my face shield before, so I'm going to turn this down to roughly here round, and so I can put my steady rest right here. So I'm going to do that real quick, and let's see what we get. So I'm going to focus on just this little area. I'm taking light passes because I don't want it to flex on me too much. And I might use that knot as a highlight, depending on how much is left once I get it round. I'm guessing maybe not a whole lot. Like I said, the CA glue is not a fix-all. You know, you do have to be careful. Still not there. As I'm looking through them, I'm looking on this side of it, and I see a little shadow yet. So I know I'm not quite round. And I'm getting real close. I hear it vibrating. Hear that vibrating. One reason I want to get my steady rest on that. I'm real close to being round where I can put my steady rest on it. And here's the vibration on it. I believe that may have it. Let's see. Not quite. A little flat spot right there. So we're going to go a little bit more. We'll put our steady rest on. Let's see where we're at. See, in turning long stuff like that, it's always nice to have a steady rest. Still got a flat spot there. I'm getting close. Rounded there. So I want to go a little bit more. When it's in the center here, I'm turning a lot slower than what I was earlier. So a little bit more. I think we had her around there. Let's see what we look like. Oh yeah. So I can get my steady rest right in there. That'll help with the vibration. All right, so hang loose and I'll put my steady rest on and we'll go. All right, as you can see, I got my steady rest on, holding that piece in there. I'm gonna work on this end here first. I'm gonna taper this. That's about my max thickness there, so I'm gonna leave this section and I'm gonna taper this all. I probably won't be able to work all right here, so I'll have to move my steady rest on one side or the other to finish that little bit, but we'll work through them little issues. No big deal. I'm almost tapered down here. I'm going to put this little rubber stopper on the bottom, so I need to measure this to figure out what my inside diameter of this is. That's there. Let's see what it is. And I'll show you a trick. It's basically 7/8. So I'm going to show you a trick on what it'd take real easily. 3/4, 11/16. Well, I thought I would. 3/4. There it is. Okay, so the inside of that is 7/8. So I got me a 7/8 open end wrench. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down so this fits that. So, because I know that. And then the other part is, we know from there to there. So we want it roughly there. That'll be my end piece there. So that being said, tool of choice would be my Badan, and I can go down on that. All right, so let's turn that down to that point. I'm going to run right around 500 RPMs. You want to be careful with long sleeves too, reaching across there, that you don't do it. Sometimes I like to reach underneath. Let's turn a foot on this. So I'm going to start on the outer edge, and I'm just going to kind of nonchalantly cut this off. There's some of this material. All right, I got rid of most of it. Take my little open end wrench, start out here and just kind of I want it to fit snug. There it is. That's how it fits on there. And then I want to match this to the rest of it. And if it's tapered, it's fine because that's a rubber piece. It'll fit in there. So I'm just going to go down so it matches pretty close. There, we don't want that rubber thing to fall off, so that's what we got. If you look at our wrench, fits there, and it just doesn't quite fit there, but that'd be a good snug fit. We'll have to sand it, so it'll take it the rest of the way off. So the other part is, we want to get this somewhere around in there, so I'm going to take it down just a little bit more on that. Go back to my skew, raise my tool rest again, and we'll turn that. So I'm going to work my way down here. I'm just going to put a nice taper on this. Like I said, it's going to be nothing fancy. Give her a little bit more speed. My steady rest is doing its job because I don't feel the vibration I felt before. So it's really doing a pretty good job at that. Like I said, I just want to taper it. I don't want to take too much meat off because I want some strength in this. So there. Nice taper to it. I got that taper. Okay, and I do want to trim that up just a hair and clean that edge up. And I do have a little bit more there. So I'm going to go to my smaller skew so I have a little bit more finesse and use my detail parting tool. It's an easy wood parting tool. I kind of like this. I'm not a big fan of easy wood, but this one works pretty well. Just want to clean that up a little bit, and then I want to taper this edge here down. A lot of times wood turning is a lot of finesse. So, all right. So as you can see, got a real nice clean cut there. A little bit of sanding to do, but not much. So let's work on this portion right here. And I'm going to have to work towards my steady rest, but I want to clean this up. Actually, I kind of like that thickness here. I don't know. Let's get rid of this, make this round, and then let's see what we got. Raise my tool rest. All right. This is what happens when you got to be a little bit ambidextrous per se. I'm not going to go all the way over to steady rest, but I will go get it fairly close. A little more aggressive than I wanted. Give this a little quick sharpen. I'm going to sharpen this real quick here. A lot of times when I sharpen, I'll give you a quick scenario what I do. I take a black marker, mark my bevel, and then when I put this up there, I'll spin my grinding wheel up until I get a mark across there. So hold tight and we'll be right back. Just like that, we got a nice fresh edge on it, and I can clean this up and won't have so much vibration. A lot of times I just glue these blanks up with some just odds and end boards that I have, depending on the length of what I'm doing. You know, I'll glue them up in long. If I got long boards, I'll glue them up in glue blanks with the length so that I can make a walking stick out of. If it's a shorter piece, I'll make a handle out of it for something. You know, or I might make a peppermill blank, depending. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's see if we're round. Oh yeah, I like that. Nice, smooth. Got a little bit of a high spot right there. So I'm going to clean this up, and then we're going to move our steady rest. And all I want to do is get a little bit of a high spot. I'm going to finesse it. There. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. So I'm round up to this point right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my steady rest over to here, and then I'll work on this part and then move my steady rest down as I go down towards that end. So be right back. All right, as you can see, I moved my steady rest. Got it moved down a little bit. And we're going to focus on this little bit here. Just got to round that around so it's flat with this one. I want to keep my taper going that direction. So I get my skew again. And we're going to do it. I get a little bit closer here. Not that close. This is a Carter tool rest, or steady rest, so it really is a nice rest. It goes down through. Very easy. Easy to deal with, and like I said, I'm just going to take my time here for just sitting out here. Keep my taper going. And a little bit more, and then we'll have this rounded. I just don't want to hit my wheels, so I'm just going to taper it just ever so slightly. Let's see what we got. Because then I can move my steady rest. Okay, that's pretty good. This is a little thinner than there. So I'm going to give it a little bit more. And we'll call it good. I'm going to use my other tool just to final it. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Right there is good. A little bit of a mark there. Let's take that out real quick. That little mark. I got a little tiny mark right there. If you can see it, it's right there. One last cut and we'll be good. The reason I like this screw is it just gives me a real smooth, fine cut. Just like that. All right, I love it. Looks good. So we're going to leave that there, and we're going to move our steady rest down here, get back in the center, and we'll be right back. So I got my tool rest, or my tool rest. Yeah, got the tool rest moved. Got my steady rest moved. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off, get it rounded, and then when I get down to the very end, I got to do a piece to fit my ferrule here. And then once I get that fit there, then I'll sand it and go from there. But the video is already 33 minutes long, and I don't want to make it too much longer. So I'm going to finish this off camera, and then we'll go from there. All right, so hang tight. All right, so I finished it up. Got clear to the end. Everything looks good. At this point right now, I'm just going to do some sanding, cleaning it up, and I want to do a couple designs in it. I think I'm going to do a couple beads. Once I get it sanded, I'll do a few beads in here, kind of break it up a little bit, and then a little bit of wood burning. And then I got my block here that we're going to turn a knob for the top. So stay tuned. We'll do a little sanding and go from there. All right, so here we are. We're going to finish up our sanding here. Make sure we got no marks in here. I think we're in good shape. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple beads in here. So I marked off 3 spots here. And I'm going to do 3 beads. I'm going to do 1 bead here, 2 here, 3 there. So that being said, let's do that real quick. So I got my beading tool here. See how it is there. All right. So I'm running about 500 RPMs. And I just stick this in here. Let's get this down so you can see it. Get you a little closer here. Get you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. All right. So I'm going to put this here. And all I'm going to do is put it right in there, and I lift up, rotate my tool back and forth like this. her back and forth till she rounds it over, just like that. Okay. Leave that like that. Looks good. All right, now we'll move down to the center one here. Move you down there so you can see that. Okay, we're going to do 2 beads here. I got my mark there. So I got to be careful with this because I'm in the center. So I'm going to touch here and just kind of slowly rotate it back and forth. Just kind of keep going back and forth on it, rotating it from side to side. This beading tool really makes making beads real simple, real easy. And we'll put 2 here, so I'm going to go on the other side of that. Watch, because see it vibrating a little bit. Might have put my steady rest back on, but I don't know, try to get away without it. Just take my time, I'll be all right. All right, take care of that one. Now I'll move down to this end and do these 2, actually 3. So turn the camera a little bit so you can see there. All right, so I'm going to do 3 of them here. Got 1 in the center. And I'll do 1 over here. And do 1 on this side. There. I'm going to do a little quick sanding on it, and then we'll do some burning on it. Yeah, so I'm going to pick me up a piece of probably 120 sandpaper. I'm just going to do a quick sand. I don't want to get rid of my details, so just going to kind of real light sanding it. Alrighty, that looks good. I like it. All right, now I got my little burner here. We're gonna highlight them. So again, I'm gonna take this here, crank it up, put it in that little mark. There's 2 there. Do these 2. Now be careful here putting too much pressure on it because I got nothing supporting the center. I'm just taking our time, letting it burn. And now the 2 on the end, down here, or 1 on the end. And just that, I'm gonna probably put a burn mark between each center part just to break this up a little bit more. So I'm gonna measure here. This is 8 inches, so I'm gonna put one at 4. This in here is 8.5, so I'll put it 4 1/4. This one here should be 8 1/4, so I'll put it 4 1/4. And then the top is 9, so I'm gonna go 4 1/2. All right, so I wanna put my marks in there. I'm just going to put a burn mark there. I'll show you. Just got to make a groove for the wire to set in. And then we will be done. So I got my thin skew. And all I do is take it up, like that. Like that. And last one. And the basic. All right. Our basic part of that is done. Crank this up. The wire works better if it's full speed, so I'm just going to hold that in place. Burn it like that. Like that. Like that. And the last one, you can see me do it. And that's that. So now, what I'm going to do next is I am going to just lightly sand it with 220 sandpaper. Just to make sure I get everything cleaned up. Gets all the fuzzies off that. Yeah, got a mark there for some reason. Not sure what happened there. And might have to do a little sanding on that, but that's basic that. So we're done with this. So we got our block here. I'll show you how to make the top of the handle for it. We'll be right back. I get that set. All right, so this block here, all I'm going to do is make a round ball to fit on top of my walking stick. So I got this block. It's about a 3-inch by 3-inch square block. So first thing I need to do is round it, and I got to put a tenon on the end to hold it in my chuck so I can drill my hole. But first of all, I want to get it round and get that taken care of, and then I can drill my hole. So let's get it round. Now, this one here, yeah, I'll use my skew to round it. No big deal. This is differently. This would be like you were turning a bowl. So I got my grain run in this direction. This is end grain, that's side grain, end grain, side grain. So when I do this, it's going to throw splinters or throw shavings all over the place. So let's see what we get. I just want to get it round. I'm going to switch over to my bowl gouge. I'm going to come in from the end, see if I can do a better job. All right, let's put a tenon on that. So I'm gonna take and slide this up. It's not looking pretty, but that's all right. It'll look good when it's done. So I'm just gonna put a tenon on this. Screw that up. This is what they call a shear. I'm not sure what they call it now, I'll be honest with you. Because all I'm doing is I'm laying my tool up there and I'm just lifting the handle. I just want to make a nice tenon to hold it so I can drill my hole. So hang tight and I'll get her flipped around. All right, so I got an 1 3/4 Forstner bit here. And I'm just going to drill down about, let's just say, about 1 1/4 or so in there. So I set my quill at 1 inch, and then I can get my depth correct. So I got it in my chuck, and I'm gonna drill down, run about 300 RPMs. I'm just gonna take my time and let her cut, let her drill. There's a 1/4, back it out. There's a 1/2 inch, back it out. There's 3/4. There's my 1 inch. Reason I back it out because get them chips out of there. It kind of helps keep the bit cool. So I just 2 inches, 1/4 inch. Here we come. There we are, 1.25 inches. So that will take care of that. Now, basically what I did was drilled a hole for the fit. Look at that. That'll fit in there like that. So now I'm going to round that around to make a ball out of the top. And I'll glue that in. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our tailstock up for support to do that. So let me get that set up. Be right back. All right, so we got our tailstock in place. We got that. So I want to make this into a round ball. So get my face shield on. And one thing I do want to do is find my center mark. As soon as I find my pencil. My tape measure. Wherever I laid it, there it is. So we know this is about 3 1/4. Excuse me. 3 1/4, so 3 would be 1.5 inches. So, excuse me. So this is our center mark, just as a reference. That's what I want to do, so I want to turn that down to there. So, bull gouge, and let's go at it. So, let's get this out here. So, let's see. Let's see if I got it. Okay, so I'm not perfectly flat there, so I gotta go a little bit more. Okay, that should be round. And I lost my center mark, so let's mark that again. So 3 inches, 1.5 inches right in there. That's my center mark. And since this is round, I won't have to touch that center mark now. And we'll just have to round this around so it's flat. Looks like a ball. Okay, I'm going to do a little quick sanding on this edge right here with some 120 sandpaper, and then we'll flip it around and put that in there. So I just want to do that a little bit because I won't be able to get my fingers in there very easily when it comes flipped around from the chuck. we are. Looks good. Perfect. All right, so now we'll flip it around. Take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to stick my chuck. If it fits down in there, it may not fit. I might have to go to my smaller one, which I think I will. Yes, I will. All right, so we got to switch chucks. Smaller chuck it is. Give me a second here to do that. We'll keep going. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand these jaws into this. It'd be nice if I can go all the way down. Oh, it will. So I'm going to expand the jaws into it. Get a good shoulder there. I'm going to run my tailstock up. I'm going to take my cone off so that I can get the point on that center. You know, some of these projects, there's a lot of little steps to them. You know, it's just not a one-off. You go to Walmart and pick it up at the store. All right, so we're secure. So now I got to round that over there. I might end up losing a little bit of height on this. I'm not sure because I don't want it to be too big. We'll find out here in a minute. So let's get this cut off and see what we got. I want this comfortable in somebody's hand. Yeah, we're going to have to take a little bit off of this. If you have a sphere jig, this will work great for a sphere jig to do. That's basically what I'm making is a sphere. Sorry about that. So it looks to me, if I'm looking at it up in here, it's a little bit high. So I want to take a little bit more off. All right, I got a tickle in my throat. All right, let's finish this up. And take that little bit off, and then we'll okay. You see it moved on me. I wanna, maybe not. All right, let's take that knob off there. I got to be real careful now because the only thing that's supporting it is what's in the jaws. In fact, I'm going to tighten this and make sure I'm good and tight. Yeah. Take that off. We'll try our fit, make sure it's good. A little bit of a flat spot on top for you to rest your palm in. So kind of smoothing it out. Doing what I call is a shear cut. All right. Let's try this out and see what that looks like. On there. Not bad. Right there's a pretty good fit, nice round. So let's put it back on there and we'll sand it off. If I can get it off now. It's a tight fit. So we gotta knock her off there. All right, we're gonna do some quick sanding and then we'll call this project done. So like I said, this is, I wouldn't say a long project, but I haven't looked to see how long the video is. Hopefully it's not terribly long, but it might be. And I apologize if it is. But we're going to do a little sanding here on this, so I'm not going to bore you with that. And I'll be right back once I'm done. All right, we're finishing up our sanding here. And I think what we'll do is we'll put a bead on it and we'll call it a day. So, get my face shield off here, or my thing off there. All right, so we're going to put a bead on this. All right. All right. So we're going to put one right about in the middle. Got my little beading tool here. Let's go back and forth. All right, and now for the fun part. Burn that mark in there. Just like that. Hit it with some 220 sandpaper, and we will be done. Yeah, take the little fuzzies off. That looks pretty darn good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a walking stick. So I appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching me do this stuff. I enjoy doing it. I have fun doing this. This is kind of my sanity. So this is our walking stick. So this is it. Let me get the camera around a little bit. All right, so here's our walking stick. I think it looks pretty good. We got a little rubber piece that goes on the bottom. That'll go on there like so. And ta-da! I think it turns out pretty good. So I'll put a couple coats of polyurethane on it, get her nice and sealed up for you. And I'll have this at one of my shows coming up. Like I said, I think my first show is in Tip City Art Festival. So you're welcome to come see me, come join me, come and say hi, and see some of my stuff in person, see a lot of the projects that I've made here. So I would appreciate all your time, appreciate your thing, and looking at the time, it's an 1 hour and 7 minutes long video. Wow, a little long, so I apologize for that. But feel free to like, subscribe, share with other people. I apologize for the long video, but most of my turning and stuff is not a 5-minute job. Things take a little bit longer. I run into little issues, try to solve some problems, and take my time and I do the best I can. So please like, share, subscribe, and come see me in Tip City. This will be video number 12, I believe. So we'll have this one up here shortly, and we'll go from there. Thank you, and don't forget, my favorite saying, don't forget to make you some man glitter. Have a good day.